there was no master plan.
Right.
It was really just like, what if we did this? And then kept building on top of what if we do this? What if we do this?
Yeah.
And just people just trying to keep track of everything and hoping it all worked.
Yeah.
It was very chaotic.
Welcome to the Warner Brothers A Lot More podcast. I'm Jonathon Buckley, and on today's episode, we're heading back to the land of Adventure Time Side Quests is sending Finn and Jake back to the early days for some pure silly fun. And on today's podcast, we have the executive producer Nate Cash, supervising director Victor Courtright, and back on the storyboards, Jesse Moynihan. Victor, Nate, Jesse, thank you so much for coming in. I imagine this period of time for you guys is pretty cool as we approach the big launch of Adventure Time Side Quests. How's it been? So how does it feel right now, doing all the press and getting out there and letting everyone know what's going on?
It's exciting. I think people are really responding to it. So we've been making these and only seeing them ourselves. So it's awesome to have strangers be excited and talk about how funny it is and how it feels nostalgic to what they remembered from the old series.
And when you say making these, I feel like you've been making these for a while now. How long does it take to build out a series like this?
I mean, I was in development with it for 4 to 6 months. And then once we got the green light, I think it's been like 2 years of constant
work.
Yeah.
I think I came on August 2024, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah, approaching to wait, is that 2 years?
Yeah.
Immediately forgot how math works.
Yeah. That was the first time you dipped your toes into this pool, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was that like? Because people are beyond passionate for the series.
I mean, I'm one of them. I'm one of the fans,
Awesome.
one of the many fans.
Yeah.
I think, me and a lot of the people on this show, on the crew, we're all, new to it and fans of the original. So yeah, it's like no pressure, just to work with all these amazing people that you've, it's been how long since the first series dropped? 2010, so like 16 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So formative years, watching the show, being a fan of it, and then coming in and finally getting to do it for yourself is incredible.
How did it come about? How did you find yourself getting roped in?
Me and Nate worked together on past shows and really enjoyed working together. And so he asked me to come over and start directing. So, yeah.
That would have been a cool invite to get.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed.
And Nate, Jesse, you guys have paddled around this swimming pool beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you first got involved with Adventure Time?
End of season 1, I came on as a storyboard supervisor. Jesse had started before that.
End of season 1, I came on as a storyboard revisionist.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you went straight to boards.
No, I did... what was it? Party Animal, maybe was the first episode I did revisions on. They asked me to board a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And did you have any idea at the time that the show was as successful as it now is viewed, or that you was leading in that direction?
My friend Tom Herpick, who worked on the show as a designer at first, we were pen pals. And he told me, he was like, I got hired on this show, Adventure Time or whatever. And he had worked on some other cartoon stuff before that, a little bit here and there. So I saw him as a more successful cartoonist as me.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm working on this show, Adventure Time. And he showed me the YouTube pilot. And then I saw how many people had responded to that. And I was like, oh, this is like, I already was like, this is a hit show already. Right. So it just, for me, felt like a given that it was going to be, it seemed like a done deal to me. Yeah, even though it hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, I was on SpongeBob at the time, and I told my wife that I wanted to leave SpongeBob, which is a very comfortable, long-running show, to go work with a bunch of old film school buddies on this weird new thing she'd never heard of. So she was pregnant with our second child, and she was like, you want to do what?
But she was supportive?
She was, yeah. Nervously supportive.
Nervously supportive, yeah. How does it feel looking back at that original series? And do you feel a sense of, obviously, pride, achievement?
It's still awesome. I mean, it had such a unique original voice that, yeah, it just, in doing this series, we would rewatch animatics from the old animatics, and it still holds up. It's so, like embraces artist's voice in a way that a lot of other series don't necessarily.
I was kind of doing a bit of a look into this and the storyboard-driven way that you made the original series. It's not that it hasn't been done before, but it's pretty unique, and it gives a lot of creative license to people like yourself, Jesse. Like, could you explain that for people that don't really know how that works?
It's like a collaboration between the writer's room and the storyboard artists.
Yep.
So a lot of times the writer's room will come up with premises that are maybe 3 pages, and then you split it up with your board team, and then you just go into a fever dream flow state, and you just start trying.
Fever dream flow state.
Yeah. I mean, you just try to write jokes around that outline, basically, and hit all the story beats and hope it times out correctly. And you pitch it to the room, and you try to act it out so everyone sees how the flow of the story goes. But you're basically writing, it's a sort of back and forth between the writers and the storyboarders, where you're giving each other feedback. Sometimes, on Adventure Time, there were some sort of like diva kind of moments between the storyboarders and the writers. I would say people have told me this.
Yeah, that could happen a lot. I guess everyone's got an idea, and then you've got your artists that are in there and going, but wait.
Yeah, it's like yes-anding, but also like vying for your vision.
Right.
And so everyone trying to stay friends, stay creatively like fulfilled. And it's very much like a balancing act, I found, on that show, especially the 7 seasons I was on, between the boarders themselves, each competing with each other to be like, I'm going to write the funniest thing. You know what I mean? And like, oh, you see their pitch and it's amazing. And then you're like, oh, my next one has to be better than theirs. Like, like all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot like that. And then also your relationship with the writers, you'd be like, hey, I want to do an episode about this character or whatever. And then they try to come up with ideas about what a character, could come back at doing or whatever. I remember Zergiak. I was like, I don't know if anyone remembers Zergiak, but I was like, I want to do more Zergiak episodes. And then I just like kept campaigning for Zergiak to come back, and no one liked that episode. So you try things, and
Well, you have to try. You got to have a swing.
Yeah.
The animation and to just work in such a creative medium, like it is so creative. And I think about particularly with Adventure Time because it is such a quirky show. But then what you managed to bring into it was so much depth. And people talk about the lore of this series, and it's really serious, like the backstories that you've injected. Where does that all come from? Were you guys big Dungeons and Dragons guys when you were younger?
Yeah. But I think the quirkiness does just come from personal experience, like just putting something a little bit overly personal into the voice of a character in the way where it doesn't feel like a journal entry, but it just feels like a very heightened version of something that you really felt or really experienced, or as weird as it might be, just like having somebody at a party trauma dump about a pending divorce and just being like, I feel awkward, I feel bad for you, but also I wish you didn't. And so like we would work that into an episode.
Yeah. So when it comes to ideation, when you're sitting down, is that how you're folding in those stories? Is just drawing from personal experience somewhat, or?
I think the best ones do start, the kernel comes from something that isn't like a complete story. You're not just like putting a mask on something that happened, but like in your head, you get stuck on a moment and like, I think there's something here because I keep thinking about it.
I just always think back about like the Ice King backstory with Simon, and it's just like that's such a sad episode, such a sad backstory. And people were sort of saying, "Oh, this brought me to tears because it reminded me of my father going through Alzheimer's," and you really see that. And I was like, "Oh, I wonder if did that come from somebody's personal experience? Is that kind of what that storyline was dancing around, or?"
I think it just evolved out of, like, you have this villain over seasons who you just want to build more and more connection to.
Yeah.
And then I think it just naturally, that story just almost manifested itself in a way. And then like certain writers and boarders took the reins of it, and we're like, we're gonna take it down this road and just go for it, kind of thing. Everything in Adventure Time was like a natural, just like almost like yes-anding stuff.
Yeah. I was going to say, so with that lore and with that deep backstory, it was just something that kind of kept getting added to and added to and added to, as opposed to somebody sort of planning it on a whiteboard.
There was no master plan.
Right.
It was really just like, what if we did this? And then kept building on top of what if we do this? What if we do this?
Yeah.
And just people just trying to keep track of everything and hoping it all worked.
Yeah.
It was very chaotic. And I mean, a lot of the lore was built out of Ghost Shrimp's backgrounds.
Yeah.
So that's where the first idea that, this is post-apocalyptic was from Dan just drawing bombs in the back, stuff like that. There was no idea of that, I think, at first.
Yeah. And so side quests now, and that's why I asked about the Dungeons and Dragons connection, because I used to play Dungeons and Dragons myself. A lot of fun. And I would always end up on a side quest that would take over the whole the whole mission, the whole plan. So we're here now with Adventure Time side quests. What can we look forward to? When does it take place, and how does this fit into the story?
Well, we're going back to Finn, 12 years old. So everything, we've been trying to make it just feel like it fits within the cracks of seasons 1 and 2. Yep. So Finn is 12, Jake's 26, and these are just other things that happened in between episodes that we've already seen. And part of that is resetting our awareness of who Ice King is, because in the beginning he was just a ridiculous dude who's lonely and kidnaps princesses to try to marry them. But that was like a more like tight comedic package to work off of. It's really cool that we got to learn like Ice King's backstory. A lot of the lore is like really cool because it did like build upon itself, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
But then it's less fun to punch Ice King when he's kidnapping princesses.
Because you feel for him now, and you know that he's like really just like this lovable, innocent father that was
but kidnapping princesses is wrong.
It's wrong, so no excuses. But then you even, not to go back again, but you even explained all of it with the crown and everything. I mean, it goes back so deep. So why did you? So you chose this particular period of time between season 1 and season 2 because of it is that kind of just back to just goofy fun.
Yeah, goofy fun, and Finn was more of a kid. Like he was more of like a righteous barbarian boy who just wanted to be a hero, and like naive to the point where it was just like fun and exciting, and like the simplicity of it was something that I was excited about going back to.
And so it sounds like we're going to get some familiar faces as well. Any new characters that you're excited to add to the series as well?
So many.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Seamus.
Yeah.
Seamus, yeah.
Great one.
Yeah, I think part of the
Daniel.
appeal of coming back to that world, coming back to storyboarding and writing on it is the idea of being like, we're going to come up with new characters, new villains, all this. It's not just going to be, if it was just like rehashing stuff, I'd be less excited.
Yep.
But if like when we were in the writer's room coming up with premises, it was just like, what would, just generate new ideas. So to me then I'm like, okay, now I'm having fun.
Yeah.
So that was the appeal to me.
And standalone episodes now too, right? So it's not like this 20 episode drop is going to have a through line necessarily. It's just each episode, it's just new adventure, a bit of fun, some new characters. Yeah. Okay. So you've been doing it for the last, you said since 24. I'm just curious about what it's like to work in animation. I feel like, I mean, obviously just looking from the outside, I just think it's just fun and you're playing foosball at the office and high-fiving each other and saying, hey, I got a funny idea. Is that kind of how your day goes?
Except, instead of foosball, it's like we're drawing and telling a story. But it's just as fun. I don't know. Like honestly, like we're kind of all doing something that we're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And like we're literally like just telling jokes to each other and drawing stupid drawings for each other. Like that's what ends up being in the final episodes is like all of our dumb little inside jokes that end up being for the world. So I don't know. It is like kind of like playing a game. It is like very much in the spirit of Dungeons and Dragons and role playing in that you're just kind of making up your own adventure with, a set world with lore and existing characters and magical properties or whatever. You're playing the game, but like completely inventing the journey every single time.
Do you find that you're getting ideas? You get your ideas at weird times? Do you, like, you're driving along or in the shower?
Yeah.
Like cooking dinner and like,
Absolutely.
wait, I forgot about this.
I feel like, we've had lots of really, really awesome just like crew hanging out at lunch or whatever and like just drawing together, and like somebody draws some stupid drawing and passes it over and everybody's like, oh my God, this should be an episode. It's like, yeah, just constantly randomly coming up with weird ideas for the show.
When you geared back up and you said, right, we're doing side quests, you brought back a lot of the voice cast as well. I imagine that would have been a really exciting day for the voice cast to get that phone call when something goes away for a period of time to then be brought back in. Was it fun to sort of bring those people back in touch with one another again and get back into the room?
Yeah, for sure. It was really cool. Like, especially like Hendon doing Princess Bubblegum is so, it's really cool to witness because like, her and her voice, and she does so many other characters, but when she's doing Princess Bubblegum, it's just like so iconic to that character.
Yeah. And do you bring them all into the room together to voice scenes, or is it kind of broken up now?
When that happens, it's magical.
When you get everyone in together.
We had a few with Sasha and John for Finn and Jake, and it was like just immediate magical kind of chemistry kind of happened. So yeah.
And the animation style, again, because it's kind of evolved throughout the years, it's a touch different again with this series.
It's very reverent to the original series, but the actual art style is so different. Nick Cross is leading his team to paint this like rendered background style that is they look like Renaissance paintings. They're like so like detailed and like volumetric. So we took the similar black and white layouts from the show, so it feels the same, but it's rendered like it couldn't be more different in how it's executed.
But still familiar from what I've seen,
still like the
still
characters
unmistakably
are the same designs, but we didn't do a black outline on them, so it just has this really cool crisp look against those rendered backgrounds, and so it's like deceptively identical, but so different.
Yeah, painted over like those same backgrounds, so you can recognize the shape language and everything. Yeah, and even like the new layouts that we've been doing, like look like they're in the style. So at some point, if people see those, which they should, it's just like we've just been making new art that feels like the original, and then painting it in this new style. So it's like got that skeleton behind it that is deeply connected to the original aesthetics.
Are you excited to introduce this series to the fans, or is there a little nervousness?
I'm not nervous at all. I think
That's good. That's a good sign. Yeah.
They're going to love it. It's really good.
I love that. So we've got 20 episodes coming out June 29th. We actually did have a few questions from some fans that asked, that they just wrote in. And one of those questions is, how do you guys capture the simple nostalgic magic of early Finn when the audience already knows how complex his future gets?
For me, it was a relief, like to be able to go back. It's almost like talking to yourself as a child or something, which is something I used to think about when I was a kid. I used to think about talking to myself as an adult, like being able to talk to my future self, travel back in time and meet me, and if I would be happy with the person I met. So it's like a sort of like a reverse version of that. And I like reconnecting with, like a 12-year-old version of me that hasn't had adult life experiences yet. And so that idea of going back to season 1, to me, I was like, yeah, I can board that. I can do that. That's like way less heavy. I can have lots of fun. And it's just like, reconnecting with my childhood self. Yeah. So that's how I thought of it when Nate asked me to jump on.
Do you have anything to add to that, Nate?
That was kind of the whole impetus of this, was like returning Finn to a kid voice, because it is just fun to have that simplicity that I miss in life. So it's nice to go to work and be able to escape into something that is like not saccharine and sweet. Like, it is aware of like the complexity in the world, but his point of view is like simple and fun and confident.
Yeah, I also think not to get too philosophical, but as you get older and you collect experiences, maybe like difficult experiences, which is what Finn went through all those seasons. Like part of writing those seasons was, like, I want to see how Finn grows through all these like events, and then you see him growing up, but then you want to be able to say, yeah, but your child self is still there. That's still, like, hopefully you win by being able to reconnect with that original self that like was so optimistic and so idealistic. And hopefully that's what every adult can achieve once you get to a certain point. So as an adult trying to write that's like the full circle, hopefully return to childhood kind of optimism.
Yeah, I agree. And I also agree with what you said. I think there's a hunger for that as well in the world of entertainment right now. It's like, I just like to be entertained. I don't need to be too heavy, too complex. It's
also, that's a relief too.
Yeah.
I want that. Yeah.
Were there any challenges in developing new stories within an already established world?
We basically just stayed away from anything that would disrupt any lore. Like, we didn't want to contradict anything of what is going to happen, and that kind of was freeing in a way. Like I think Jesse said too, is like you're just like starting from scratch. So whatever you want to add to that moment is just more, and it's more surprising for the audience too. It's a little bit more. It feels unhinged in a way where just like something can just be like a really bold moment without thinking about what happened before or after.
This was another one from a fan, did the choice to use a more vibrant storybook-esque animation style help create that emotional reset?
Helped create a reset, at least.
Yeah. I mean, story-wise, I don't think I thought of the art direction changing at all because we're drawing line drawings like we normally would. And then, but when you see it, I think there's like a sophisticated polish to it that is really cool.
Do you guys still love what you do? I definitely get the sense from you, Jesse. I feel like you're highly passionate, but you still love working in the world of animation. I feel like it's just, what's it like out there nowadays?
It's awesome. I mean, we laugh really hard every day, like in an edit session or the voice record. Like we're just trying to get the funniest stuff, and that's a fun job.
Okay. I've laughed so hard during board pitches, like I have trouble breathing. It's like insane. Like you think you're gonna pass out. It's so funny. So yeah, I don't know. It's like always a joy to work on this stuff. I think we're all believers in it. So
when you were younger, did you ever think that this was possible as a career? I mean, I feel like that's a kind of
no. I didn't think so. I was like totally abstract to me.
Yeah,
I grew up on the East Coast. Yeah, it wasn't on my radar at all. I mean, I went to film school. I thought I was going to make live action films. But then Penn Ward reached out to me. It was like, you want a storyboard? And I was like, okay, sure, I guess. I was doing comics, which to me, comics even was abstract. Like, I didn't think I could make a living off of making comics.
Yeah.
Until I got a grant to make some comics. It was like $3,000, which was to me at that time a lot of money. And then from there, I was like, maybe I could make money just doing comics. But I had no idea. I met some people that had worked on some animation before, like when I was really young. I met the guy who worked on Little Nemo or whatever, the one from when was that? The late 90s one? Yeah, 80s one. I met him as a child. And I was like, oh, you're like a god or whatever, So I had no idea. It just is, I'm like here by chance. It's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea what went into it. Like, I think when I was a kid, I was making stop motion in camera by like start and stopping my camcorder or whatever. Yeah. I was doing that. I once transcribed to my mother the entire plot of Land Before Time, not realizing I was going like beat for beat. I was like, maybe it'll be the sequel or something, or one of the 10,000 sequels. So I was doing all these things that were very much like aligned with a career career in animation. And it wasn't until I was like trying to think like, what do I actually want to do with my life, that I discovered, oh yeah, that's a job. You can just draw.
You can actually do
You
it.
can just draw cartoons and bring them to life.
Yeah,
So
go to
kind
work and laugh all
Yeah,
day long.
yeah. It's very nice.
It really does sound like a
all I
dream
ever
gig.
heard was like how hard it is to get in the animation industry. That's growing up, I always heard that. So I was like, that's impossible, you know.
Do you have any advice for anyone that's maybe listening to this? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people would be looking up to you guys right now, especially given the fact that you're working on such a beloved series and you're so accomplished within just animation in general. Do you have any advice for young people that are maybe looking to follow your footsteps?
It's easier than ever to put stuff out. So just make stuff and put it out and keep making stuff.
I think regardless of, you know, what this company does, what any of the other companies are doing, like who's making what, I think there's like a really unique time right now where there is less animation being made right now. And that just means there's more room for independent animation and individual animators to like put their work out there and be seen. And right now is a perfect time to be doing that.
I think you
That's
have
the
to
answer.
have the drive to make your own stuff. That's like the number one thing.
Yep.
You do that and you could shape the future of the animation industry right now.
Well, I like the idea of that.
No joke.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way to really like hire for a job like this for a board-driven show.
Yeah.
Even when I was doing boards on SpongeBob, and I knew Penn, I knew Pat, I knew everybody, and then they're like, "Let me see that pilot you did that didn't get made." And I'm like, "Oh, but the one that didn't get
The one that didn't get made?
Yeah, I don't know." And then, but I showed them that and some of my boards, and that's really the only way that you can tell if somebody can do a job. You can't. It's not an interview process where you can like.
Isn't that great? Like nothing's wasted. Do you know what I mean? Like that pilot that you made, and it's like, you've just kind of stuffed it in a dusty box somewhere. But it's like, no. This is what gets you kind of roped in on the job. So it's very, very cool. I'm excited to see the whole series. So it does air on the 29th on Hulu and Disney Plus. What are you most excited for the fans to get out of Adventure Time side quests?
I think the animation looks great. Just the movement. Mm-hmm. I'm really, from what I've seen so far, just very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that to me, I'm like, whoa, this is like TV animation, but it looks really good. Yeah.
It's awesome. I think Victor has a knack for movement in a way that is a dying art, because like just on the fly can animate on like Post-it notes and like make a flip book that's like, what? It's like it's honestly magical. Like you can know the rules of animation, but then there's also like really high level of expertise.
It's just the joy of animation. That's the trick. But yeah, I don't know. We've been like in a bubble for I've been in a bubble working on this for 2 years. Nate's been in a bubble even longer working on this thing. So I feel like there's so much work and so much amazing stuff that's like been cracking us up or just wowing us for, years at this point, that finally the world gets to see. It's just like opening the floodgates of everything that we've been enjoying. This is the show we've been watching, so I'm just excited everybody else gets to watch it.
And there is a hunger out there. Let me tell you, people are ready for this. Victor, Nate, Jesse, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Super excited to see it. Super excited for the future of Adventure Time.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan.
Cheers, guys.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.